Proton Pack is not a toy.
I guess that's right.
Hello, I'm Darren the Magic Ghostbuster. In this video I'm taking a look at the Hasbro Plasma Series Proton Pack. Now I'm sure this is going to get asked, where can I get one? Well, unfortunately these were part of the HasLab, which is a crowdfunding thing run through Hasbro's Hasbro Pulse website, or Zavvi in some countries. This means it was crowdfunded, a bit like Kickstarter. It was a one-time only thing. Now, wouldn't surprise me if Hasbro eventually do a variant, 84 variant or something, but I could be completely wrong, who knows. But unfortunately, if you missed out, your only way is on the secondary market like eBay, Facebook Marketplace or somewhere like that. But anyway, let's get into the unboxing. So, just quickly, for those who care about this sort of stuff, this is the shipping box it comes in, and it has the weights and measurements written down here, and then up here underneath the Hasbro logo it actually says Action Figures, and rather than saying Ghostbusters Proton Pack, it uses a code name which is GHB Tango. And you can see it's quite well protected. It's actually got another brown box inside that box. And here it is. This is the box. It's now taken out of the shipping boxes. I'm glad they double boxed it, because the outer box did have a few dents in it that have not transferred onto this. On the front here you can see it says Egon Spengler Proton Pack, and then it's actually got a thumbprint reader there, which is really cool. At the bottom of the box is nothing really to shout about, just boring copyright and all that sort of stuff. And then here is the back of the box. And then taking a quick look at the side of the box, same both sides, with these pictures of the handles that you'd pick it up with. So I guess all that's left to do now is to open this up. So let's cut the tape. Tape around the sides and come around the other side of the camera for that. There we go. So I was a bit awkward with the camera positioning, but let's open this up, and well, already very impressive. So Hasbro did a video unboxing this at some point last year, I can't remember when it was now, showing some of this, and I think they called this Egon's Workbench, and they incorporated like the floor puzzle that Phoebe plays with in Afterlife into this design. So let's just have a look here. So these are the instructions, which we'll have a proper look at in a bit. So what we got here is this. Okay, that moves over like this. Not very well, but it does. Okay, so Phantasmical Samples. So I'm assuming that these are the marshmallow bits. Yep, so that's our fake marshmallow. We'll look at all that a bit more in depth later on. And then these, I believe, are the mini puffs. Yep, so these are the burnt mini puffs. Very cool. Really like the paintwork on those, actually. We'll have a proper in-depth look at those a bit later on in the video. So we lift this up. Okay, so I don't think there was anything under that flap, just part of the design. Now, I apologise in advance, but I know the camera normally picks up quite a lot of the rustling noise, which can be really annoying. Look at that, that thing looks really, really cool. Very cool. Yeah, it's nice to finally see it with my own eyes. So let's, I'm pretty sure the best way to pull this out. Let's just move there for a second. So yeah, looking really, really good. So what I'll do is let's take this out, just check the rest of the box. I know we haven't come to everything yet. Lots of protective cardboard. So there's this box on the bottom. Stance Spengler Nutrient Accelerator storage stand. We'll look at that in more in depth, and then just make sure you can see this on the camera. This looks like the stickers. So let's move this out of the way. Okay, so we've got some stickers, then these are for converting it to the 84 style pack, and then we've got Egon Spengler's journal, which again we'll go into more in depth to that very shortly, but so that's the unboxing portion. Now I guess is time to have a proper look at the pack. So just before we look at the pack, this box was inside the box with a stand, which comes with the hose. And then this is the iron arm. It's actually metal, that bit. And then you've got the orange tip, and these here I believe are going to be for attaching the Alice frame. Let's just have a quick look at those. Yeah, the brackets for attaching the Alice frame. So here is the Proton pack itself, and it looks amazing. Like, they have done such a good job, you know, considering that this is like a mass-produced toy. Essentially, it's really, really good. Yeah, I can see a couple of like inaccuracies. I know the big one that people have been talking about online is this. Is a different shade of yellow in the film. I know a lot of people are going to change that. One thing that jumps out to me, which I'm going to have to double check to see if this was the case in Afterlife, but a couple of bits here should be like brass, goldy coloured. They're just black. But overall, really impressed with it. So like I said, the iron arm is metal, and that just pushes onto there. It does feel quite secure, so it doesn't feel like it's something that's going to come off at any point. One thing I do notice, there should be a couple of like bolts or screws on the front there, but just looking at the weathering, like it's got loads of little dings and stuff in it, is really good. And the clip art is metal on top, like that they did with the Neutrona wand. Yeah, it just looks really good. I'm very happy with the job they have done on this. Looking really, really nice. So here is the back of the pack. Straps look really nice as well. I think they've done a pretty good job of the straps. They look like they're easily removable as well, and easy to put back in if need be. So that is good. And yep, same with this one as well. So yep, that's all good. And then you've got the battery compartment here, which I've already unscrewed, and it takes 4D batteries. So it's a shame I didn't make it run on AA's. Had to run out and get some of these, but I always recommend using decent quality batteries for things like this. I remember with the Matti collector trap, using some cheap batteries on it once, and it just didn't function properly. But let's put these batteries in, and we'll turn it back around and have a proper play with it. Okay, so let's switch it on with the switch over here. Now that noise, that mooing noise, is the motor. You can feel it vibrating. Obviously you can't see it vibrating, but that's what that is. I know there's a way to turn that off, and I think I would. That just sounds horrible, that motor. But you can change the volume with the crank knob and turn the volume off, and then that is just the motor. Or vibrating motor that you can hear going now. And then if we turn the volume back on, let's turn it off. So there you go. So let's play around with the settings. So I just want to show you this switch down here. This switch actually doesn't do anything. Adam Savage done a video on this probably going back about a year now, where he looked at like a prototype version, and the guy from Hasbro said that they put this in specifically for modders so they can make that do something, whatever they want basically. So don't know how easy that's actually going to be to do, but I'm sure some clever person will certainly work that out. Okay, so to open this up, we unscrew here. That comes out. This slides off. And then this goes up like this, and then you can mess around in here. So the cyclotron, that comes out like this, and as you can see, lots of cool detail in there, so that is very, very cool. And then I believe these are all removable. Yep, I've removed that one. So these are all removable as well, so you can play around with that there. And then you have the two switches here. So let's put this back together. That's in properly good. So I can't remember which switch does what, but if we flip that, that one goes down. Let's put this back together. And then flip the switch. So that was clearly the switch for the motor, and it just sounds so much better without that horrible vibrating sound. I don't think I'd even bother turning that back on. I thought it was a horrible noise. First impression, I feel like this could have been louder. It doesn't sound incredibly loud to me. I don't know if the camera might end up making it sound louder than it is to my ear. So turn it back off. Because we have the next setting, which is the 84 sound. So that's, you can see it makes a slight little noise when you flick those switches. So this should be 84 mode now. So again, very cool. And then one feature is you can remove this ribbon cable, and these two bolts, they push in. And you can see you get the containment unit sound. And then let's put that back on. And then it goes back to normal mode. And let's turn that off. We'll remove the ribbon cable with the Afterlife effects. So let me know what you think of that vibrating motor. I thought it was horrible. That switch will never be turned on again, I don't think. I remember in Hasbro's video on this, some people thought it might have just been the stand making that sound, but this is on my sofa, so definitely not the stand. Let's turn it back on. And then cool little features, probably not something I'd mess around with very often, but it's a cool little feature, so yeah, very cool. So as you heard, the mini puffs there, and that all happened randomly when you remove the ribbon cable. So it won't happen every time, but sometimes you'll hear the mini puffs causing havoc. One cool feature I really like on this is this side panel. If you push that in, this will open up, and then you can store loads of cool things in there. So you could store a mini puffed, or you could probably store some snacks and stuff, which I think is better. So this is designed to be able to attach to an Alice frame. You need an LC1 or a Rothco, which is what I have here. This was actually one I used on my old Ben of Kent Proton pack. These are not the strongest, the Rothco ones. This one actually snapped, which is where this bit of duct tape is, which has made it a little harder getting this bracket over it, but still managed. And apparently these are the ones they used in Ghostbusters Afterlife, apparently, so which is quite cool. But literally just screw these on like this. And that is the Alice frame on. There was actually no instructions on attaching an Alice frame, which, you know, wasn't a problem. I knew what I was doing, but it just seemed weird to not include them, really. Come with these two spacer parts here, which and with two longer screws, so I'm assuming they go on that bottom bit. But yeah, I just need to get some more foam to go over there. I chucked the old one because it deteriorated so much, but Alice frame goes on nice and easy. So stretch goal number one was the inclusion of the hose to attach the wand. Now just one little thought on this. Now obviously if I exceeded that stretch goal, so we got the wand, but I find it ridiculous that that was even a stretch goal. This should have been an absolute standard thing that should have been included with the pack, you know, even if it was a one that didn't connect it electronically, and then the electronic one was a stretch goal, because the wand even included an extra cap on the end to attach this to a Proton pack if you made one yourself at home. But you'll obviously want to get one of these if you're getting one of these. Let me just show you this quickly for those who don't know. These were really, really good. And then you could even cycle through the different modes from Ghostbusters the video game. But let's turn that off, because the way this works is the batteries from the pack actually power the wand. So if we take that out and then make sure this goes in the right way, that screws on. And then this is going to screw on the bottom. Like that, and then that should attach. There we go, like that. So yeah, it looks really cool. Saves on some batteries as well, which is another cool little thing. So let's turn this on. So we've got an 84 mode at the moment. Now, from what I understand, we should be able to let's extend that. So that all still works. Now, so that turns off the pack as well. It was a bit slow, I wasn't sure that was going to work. And then there's a 5-minute window, according to the instructions, for this to turn the pack back on. So I'm trying to remember the sequence that you were turning. There you go. There is the pack off. So like I said, it says there's a 5-minute window to turn the pack back on, which I think could potentially be annoying when you're at a convention wearing this thing. But then also it turns itself off after 2 minutes anyway. So again, I think that would be a little bit annoying at a convention. But yeah, I think it's really cool that they've managed to at least make the wand work in some way with the pack. So what I'll do is I'll set that up for the Afterlife version as well, and we'll show you that. So we've just switched to Afterlife mode. Let's turn this on. So our wand's on. And then let's turn it back on. Doing these nearly wrong way, I think. There we go. So as you can see, it works really well with the wand. Okay, so I just said this turns itself off after 2 minutes. I've just done a test, which I'm going to do again because it's a lot shorter. So what we do is I've got my phone with my stopwatch ready. You'll be able to time this through the seconds on the video, but let's turn it on and start now. So that was 40 seconds, or just over 40 seconds for the pack, and just under 35 seconds for the wand. So that is not long at all, actually. Now, I'm sure some clever person out there will manage to do something to bypass that. A lot of clever people in the Ghostbusters community. But yeah, I think, considering this is designed at cosplayers, really, I do think that's a little bit poor. I think it should have, you know, that thing should stay on for 10 minutes at least, or just not turn off really till you turn it off. But yeah, so that's a little disappointing. So the second part of the first stretch goal were these 84 style stickers. So they're for people that want to mod their pack into an 84 style one. Now, one thing I did notice, because I was going back through the original listing, and one thing it says is, oh, and we couldn't forget the custom 1984 decals with brushed chroma look. Now, these definitely don't have a brushed chrome look. They just look like generic vinyl stickers, really. So, yeah, not exactly as advertised, but this is just my eyes being funny, but that definitely does not look like brushed chrome to me. But there they are if you want to use them. So there were two parts to the second stretch goal. The first I'm showing you is the Phantasmical Samples, which is basically Marshmallow Mess. I'm going to be honest, I think this is a bit naff. I wouldn't use these. These are going straight in the box and they'll probably never be taken out again. I don't know. I don't really think I'd ever display them on my Proton pack. I just don't think they look great, I guess. I mean, I suppose they look alright for what they're trying to achieve, but just, yeah, it's not for me, basically. Now, just so you know, there was also slime green versions of these, and they were, if you backed it in the first 48 hours, I believe it was, and if you were a member of Hasbro Pulse, which I believe is about £50 or dollars a year, I didn't think it was worth paying that for just to get some slime samples. And seeing how these come out, I'm definitely sure that it wasn't worth the 50 to do that. Curious to see if anyone sells those green ones on eBay and what they end up going for, because obviously they're going to be rarer than these ones. So the other part of the second stretch goal was these Burnt Plasma Series Mini Puffs. Now, I love the Plasma Series Mini Puffs. I've bought quite a few packs now for lots of different customs, and just think they're really great. And I really like the paint job on these to make them look charred. I think they've come out really, really well. Let me just show you all three of those close up. And then if you're familiar with the Plasma Series Mini Puffs, you'll know that they come with 3 alternate heads. So you just pop the head off and stick one of the other heads on. So let's just show you all 3 heads on a body. And yeah, really, really happy with those. My only wish really is that we had 6 bodies, so you could display all the heads. One of the things I thought with the Plasma Series Mini Puffs, because they come like this, you've got 3 bodies, 6 heads, was I thought they should have done 2 separate packages, so you didn't end up with loads of spare heads. And they could have come with accessories instead of heads, which I think would have been cool. But and one other thing with these is they did come in this really cool trap box, which is really nice, all wrapped in paper. I unwrapped them before pressing record on this bit because that rustling sound just gets so annoying on videos. But yeah, really nice little box there. So that is the Burnt Plasma Series Mini Puffs. And here they are displayed on the Proton pack. You are supposed to be able to use these hands, apparently, to make them hold on to some of these wires. I wouldn't trust having them on there whilst wearing it, definitely not. But funnily enough, the first time the Plasma Series puffed figures were announced, first thought was, oh, that'd be cool, like displayed on a proton pack, pulling wires and stuff out. And at that point, I don't even think the film had been out yet, so we didn't even know it was going to happen. But yeah, I just love the mini puffs. So the third stretch goal had two parts. First part was these two sticker sheets. So this is the first sticker sheet, and here is the second one. And as you can see, some really cool designs in the stickers there. There's not a lot more I can say about them really. They are just sticker sheets with some cool designs. Personally, I could take them or leave them, but still cool to get. But the main thing is Egon Spengler's journal. And I've only had a real quick flick through this, but in it he goes over several ghosts from the past, like there's the Grey Lady, and then talks about the particle thrower, working name considering proton pack, Neutrona-1 trap. So goes over the equipment, and then goes some plans for a mobile containment unit, and then talks about other ghosts like Scary Brothers, Jogger Ghost. There's lots of cool bits of information in this book. It's really, really good. It even has bits about like after the Ghostbusters shut down, like this page here, it says, arrived and somewhat settled. It's not the Cedric, but it will serve its purpose. So he's talking about his arrival in Somerville. And there's also bits where he's like keeping track of the original Ghostbusters. So let's just find one of these pages. Which one was it? Like this one. So it's got about Peter Venkman there. So remained with World of the Psychic until cancellation after 5 seasons. 1 season public access, 4 seasons syndication, poor ratings. And then talks about you know, what he's doing now, being a professor, all that sort of stuff. And it has about Dana Barrett, how she splits her time between the New York Philharmonic and Manhattan Museum of Art. Oscar Barrett no longer lives at home, remains happy, healthy and unpossessed. And then Lewis Tully, established accounting firm Tully & Tully. There is no second Tully. It's very cool. And it has obviously about Ray running Ray's a cult, and there was some stuff about Winston obviously moving into finance, and then yeah, some information about Egon's family. So yeah, this is a really cool little book. Really happy with that. So the final stretch goal was this display stand. Now I was going to put it together, but I haven't fully decided how I'm going to display the proton pack yet. I don't know if I'm going to use the stand or mount it on a wall. And this is quite tough. You can feel like it's going to take a bit of pressure to put this together, and I don't know how easy it will be to take apart. So I'm not going to build it until I'm sure I'm going to use it, because otherwise I'm not going to get it back in the box if I decide not to use it. But overall, I think the design of it is good. It looks cool. I think if I were to do any modding, I don't plan to do any modding, but if I was that sort of person, I would definitely give this some paintwork on these bits, just to make it look a little bit more realistic, I guess, and like it was made of metal. But overall, I think it's a pretty cool design. Yeah, and obviously it's going to serve its purpose. Okay, so let's just talk about this orange tip very quickly. This wasn't a stretch goal or anything. This has just been included. Now, the original Spengler wand, when it was released, which is the one I have here, you can see the tip is silver, as it should be. But since they've re-released it, since the Proton Pack has been coming out, they've made an orange tip for it instead. So they come with an orange tip. So a lot of people have been obviously painting them. They've included this so that you can stick this over the end if you want the orange tip version. Now, the point of the orange tip is if you're going to a convention and someone thinks that this is a real gun. Now, I mean, I've never seen a gun that looks exactly like that, other than in Ghostbusters, but I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm in the UK. I mean, I know gun things are more of a thing in America, so maybe it's tougher for you guys in America. I have no idea. Let me know in the comments about that. But I just find it a little bit ridiculous that they've done an orange tip version. And like, why not release the original version and just give people this so they have the option, you know. That's probably the best way to do it. So if you do have any problems getting into a convention, you can just stick that over the top. Again, I can't see, certainly in the UK at least, I don't think you'd have any problems getting into a convention because of that. And I find the whole, like, I get the point of not selling realistic looking guns that you know, look like real guns, but I kind of think if I was the sort of madman that was going to try and sneak a gun into like a real gun into a convention, I'd just paint the tip of the real gun orange or something. I don't know. I have seen videos where people have actually painted real handguns that look like Nerf guns, and they just look like insanely like Nerf guns. But anyway, you have that as an option if you want it. So one final test, and that is to wear it. Now at the moment I have it on the Alice frame. Let's switch it on. So cool, so cool. But yeah, so that's with the Alice frame. Feels completely fine. It's lighter than my Bena Kemp pack, so it definitely feels better than wearing one of those. But let's try it now without the Alice frame. Okay, so Alice frame removed. Now this is how it looks without the Alice frame. Definitely felt more comfortable with the Alice frame, definitely. That might be because they're old straps and worn in, but just feel like, you know, it pushes it further away from the back and all that. It just doesn't feel quite as nice without that Alice frame. So if it's something you plan to wear out, definitely recommend getting an Alice frame. So, final thoughts. So to begin with, this was for sale via their HasLab thing, which is like Kickstarter, you know, crowdfunding, and I have mixed feelings about that. Part of me thinks, like, you know, this is a billion-dollar company, or multi-billion-dollar company even. Why are they crowdfunding things? I mean, they should be able to afford to take the risk on something like this. But I also look at it from the other way, is that if they released 10,000 of these things, they, you know, sold them to retailers, they probably would have sold out in hours, if not minutes, and ended up for lots of money on eBay with, you know, people, genuine fans, not being able to get them for the retail price. Now, you might argue that, well, that is already happening. People have been selling these on eBay, but the difference is that everyone had the same opportunity to get one of these. You know, they would have made whatever amount it was backed up to, whether that, you know, when it finished on about 21,000, but, you know, 100,000 people backed them, they would have made that many. So everyone had the same chance. The downside, of course, was that the crowdfunding finished just before Christmas, and they had other crowdfunding things going for other franchises. I can't remember what they are. So, you know, if you were a fan of multiple franchises, obviously Christmas is, you know, it's an expensive time. It was hard for people to back it. So some people missed out because of that. I personally think they should have waited until the Afterlife come out on like DVD, Blu-ray, or, you know, home streaming, just because obviously some people didn't go and see it in the cinema because, you know, it was still coming out of that pandemic, and I think they would have caught more fans, you know, coming into it. But it is what it is, unfortunately. But anyway, the actual pack itself, I think they've done an amazing job. I mean, this was £360 and, you know, it is a mass-produced item. It doesn't beat my Ben of Kent pack for me, but I still think they've done an amazing job. I'm not going to mod it myself. I'm just going to keep it as a collectible. I'm not really sure where I'm going to display the thing. You know, space is becoming very difficult in this place. But like I said, I'm not going to mod it. If I was to mod it though, what would I do? Well, for a start, I would dirty it up a bit, maybe add a bit more weathering, just take the shine off the plastic, really. I don't think I'll do like a full spray, but just a little bit dirtying up to take the shine off. I would change the yellow hose ribbon, whatever you call that. I would add a few bits of paint, like on the brass parts. That's probably about it, really. I don't think it's something I'd go overboard. Maybe fill in a couple of gaps, you know, obviously where the plastic is, different plastic parts are coming together, you know, things like that, maybe fill those. But I wouldn't go too overboard. I think they've done a really good job. I know some people are going to try and mod this into an 84 pack. I don't know how reversible that's going to be. It doesn't look like a lot of those little brass fittings, or copper fittings even, are going to, come off and then go back on if you change your mind. I'm not sure how easy that would be. Now, funnily enough, just as before I pressed the record, I was looking through YouTube, and Adam Savage has actually just done a video. It's about an hour long. I haven't watched it yet, of him modding one of these. So if you plan on modding it, I would recommend checking out his video. I'm going to do that once I've finished here. But like I said, I just think they've done an amazing job. Yeah, really, really good. Really good. Have one more look at it. Yeah, like I said, I think they've done a great job of it. I'm very happy with it. I'm going to spend some of the evening now editing this video and then reading the Spengler Journal and probably just staring at this and playing with it for a bit more. Will I wear it out? Probably not. Like I said, I've got a Ben & Kent pack. That's my main pack. That's the one I use when I go out to events. I do suffer with back problems, lower back problems. If I had an event and it got so bad that I struggled with that pack, I would probably wear this. My girlfriend might wear it at a couple of events as well, but it won't become like a main event pack. One other thing I would probably do, actually, I would probably glue on that iron arm. When I was taking these, the Alice frame off and adding these back on, it did pop off on my sofa. Now obviously it was on a sofa, you know, so, but I just feel like, even though it feels quite secure on there, I think if you did wear this out, I feel like that could potentially get caught on something and knocked off, and, you know, loud environments and all that, you might not hear it and lose it is a possibility. One other thing is the hose. It's quite flexible. It's the bit down the bottom it's quite rigid for that sort of part of it. My main worry is that maybe over time the wires might corrode or something, and then what you're going to do, I'm not really sure. I'm sure, again, I'm sure loads of clever people are going to work out mods for this sort of thing. I do think they should have definitely made it so it doesn't switch off after 40 odd seconds. I think that was a definite flaw. I feel like the noise could have been a bit louder, although wearing it like this, it actually sounds really loud because of the speaker placement, but when I had it down and first time, it didn't sound very loud. The motor, turn it off, it just sounded rubbish. Like, I can't imagine anyone's going to disagree with me on that one, but if you do, let me know. We're all entitled to our opinions. But yeah, I don't think there's anything more I can say about it, really. Like I said, I think they've done an amazing job of this. So well done to Hasbro, basically. I really want to see them do a ghost trap next. Hopefully they do it. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, subscribe, check out all my other videos. And until next time, keep on busting.